Warramai country.
Warramai country today. And this is your place?
Certainly is.
Yeah. Tell us about Warramai country.
Warramai country is my traditional country through my mother's side. It's located roughly about 2 hours north of Sydney, Australia, and Warramai country embraces the east coast for about 2 hours driving north and about 2.5 hours west. Where we are today is inland, so we have coastal saltwater people that comes up into the highlands where we are today. And before I say anything else, I need to say Minyang Yara Wulbalin, Nyarigu, Marada Baregu, Yigadangaba, Bare, Yi Warramai Gaba Bare, Gade Nyin. That's me welcoming you and the people of this festival to this country, as is our custom.
So we're at a music festival. What does traditional festival or the coming together of people to celebrate, like how does that compare to the way that people come together in festival today?
Well, this is my second day of the festival, and it's been really a marvellous place to be in terms of the energy and the unity and the love and the positivity. And what's so marvellous about that is we're seeing it today and yesterday, but in traditional Aboriginal society, that's something that we saw. So in terms of festivals, I've been here for 2 days and I've had a wonderful time with the dancers that I'm with, where we've met a lot of people, we've embraced, we've shared, we've spoken story, and everyone is in a very positive state of mind. Now when you take that back to traditional Aboriginal times, that's what we did every day in different ways. And so we had big festivals called Big Corroboree, where we'd have tribes coming from 5, 6, 7 different nations or countries together to celebrate all sorts of special events, but in a different way, but just as powerful. Every day was a celebration where there would be some kind of corroboree dance or festival. And when we did that, it wasn't a festival for the sake of dancing. And for the words here, I've used the words Ginyangwana, which is our words for happy dancing, which is what we're doing for the 3 days. But in our hearts and our spirits, corroboree dance was part of our songlines, it was part of our story, it was part of our narrative, it was part of our sharing and enjoying place. So on any given day, we might have had a mini festival to celebrate the fruiting of a specific tree or a food source for us. But then at other times we would come together and have big corroboree and big festivals around certain times of the year, around certain themes. So what I'm seeing today, to me, the challenge for Western society particularly, is how can we embrace the spirit of festival in everyday lives, in every way, when we do things back in what you would call normality. How can we embrace the spirit of festival, the spirit of humanity? How can we embrace respect, love and humility and carry that in our heart? Because what I see here are a lot of people of all ages, but a lot of youth coming together and sharing, and I've seen no animosity whatsoever. That's the way traditional Aboriginal Australia was.
So you did the opening ceremony for this festival, and so how was that experience for you? And what was the intention behind that? What were you trying to create in the community through opening ceremony?
Many people, Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal, would say, what is an Aboriginal dancing group and an Aboriginal elder doing being involved in a modern festival with a lot of non-Aboriginal young people, with a lot of electro music, a lot of what they call doof music? How does that all fit together? Well, for me, it was a beautiful fit, because anywhere I can share culture and help people educate themselves on the beauty of our contemporary ways with connecting with our old ways is a great opportunity to come together. So for me, this opening ceremony was a wonderful and powerful opportunity to hopefully send a message and then see whether it was received. Now, I had no idea whether that would work, but I was willing to give it a go, because at the end of the day, reconciliation is about doing real things pieces of paper, policies, advertisements, promotions are all useful and important. But for me, reconciliation is what happens on the ground with one-on-one connections with people and with heart, and where I change minds. So we danced out yesterday with a dance that I do where I come out solo and dance through the crowd, and I come out as a spirit figure where I'm embracing country, my mother, Buddy, and I'm really enjoying connecting with all that is around me. But midway through that, the people would have seen that I suddenly noticed there were all these strangers around me, and I'm going, who are these people in my country that haven't followed protocol? They haven't acknowledged country, they haven't sat down, they haven't waited to be welcomed. And so I put the leaves to my face and I look at them going, who are you? You're not following law. And then I called in Gamba Bing Eyes, all of my brothers, to come in and look at these people and see if they're coming from the right place in spirit. And when they did that, they gave me the okay and said, these people are good people, they are just ignorant, they don't know the old ways. And then we said, well, good, let's welcome them and let's share. And then we went into lots of dance, and the response from the crowd was phenomenal. I don't know how many people we had, well over 1,000. And what I saw was people not only getting our message, but giving the message back. They got a message of love and sharing, then they gave it back, and then we gave it back, and we had all this toing and froing of love and respect. And then when we had the people coming in and dancing with us, that's when I went, wow, this is the way the world should be. This is when we have two cultures coming together. This is where we will learn and grow to the future, and that's what this is all about.
There were, very briefly, there was a few quite distinctive dances. There was a whale and dog, there was a dolphin dance, there was an eagle snake dance. I'm not sure if I've got all of them, but it'd be nice to get like a really concise description of a few of those, so we can kind of, so maybe you could give us like maybe a 15 to 30 second summary of like what each one of those dances is.
Well, when we dance, it's never about the dance. When we do art, it's never about the art. When I take you to a site, it's never about the site. Everything in Aboriginal spirituality is interwoven, mind, body and spirit, and everything has law, everything has message. So every one of our dances has a story that we project, and what we want the audience to feel is the story and the power and the knowledge in that story. So we had a story of Gulpar the dolphin, and that's the Warramai story of the dolphin, and the dolphin is our ancestor, our totem from where we come. And so when we dance to that dolphin story, we're saying that we remember that we're only a human being in a bigger picture of Mother Earth with all our brothers and sisters, and we acknowledge the dolphin, and we need to remember the dolphin and respect the story of the dolphin. When we do the dance of the eagle is one of our senior totems throughout Australia, and so we're acknowledging that eagle is our teacher, and we need to listen and learn and always remember those stories so that we can care for the earth. And so with every dance we pay respects to our totems, and usually it's around an animal, and it reminds us all to remember nature and care for nature, and always remember that our mother gives us all that we need if we sing for her and care for her. And so as a society that now consumes a lot from the earth, we always need to remember to give back.
Is that basically is that coming through right? So why in Australia, or even anywhere in the world, why is it important to be welcomed by traditional people of those areas? Why is that important?
Well, certainly in traditional Aboriginal Australia, we had over 500 language groups, nations, but for over 100,000 years, those nations built relationships where we were connected with each other in a very positive way, which is why you don't see castles, you don't see fences, you don't see a lot of animosity, because traditionally we came together. But what underpinned that unity were protocols, and one of that was understanding and respecting different people's country. And when I say this is an acknowledgement of what I've been taught, and so different nations might have different understandings. But when we go into someone else's country, that is their country, not ours, and that is their Mother Earth, and we respect that. So in traditional times, even though you could walk right across Australia, there was a protocol of when you went into someone's country, paying your respects by being still and letting those people come to you, and that might be around sitting around a fire and waiting. And then those people would invite you to country, and then they would sit down and share story, and then you would spend 2 or 3 days having a corroboree, a big festival, sharing story. And that's how we travelled country, by understanding the protocol. And part of that is, the underpin of that is spirituality. In terms of the systems I've been taught, when we leave this world behind, the mother of the earth is so beautiful that our spirit comes back to country, but it comes back to our country. And so that's why we talk about having our spirit ancestors around us, always caring for us, but not only caring for us, caring for country, caring for the animals, caring for the trees. So when I go into someone else's country, there are literally hundreds of generations of old spirit ancestors in that country, and I need to make sure I respect those old people that have been there and cared for that country and continue to care for that country every day. So it's no different to if I were to visit you in your house. I just don't go and open the door and walk in and say hello. I knock on the door and then you'll look at me and say, are you friend or foe? Have you followed a protocol? Are you respectful? Yes, you have. Come in and welcome to my place. It is no different, and it's a beautiful way of understanding and respecting different place. And underpinning that again, the importance of country. Traditionally, we didn't sell country. We didn't fight for each other's country. We respected each other's country because that's your country. And that's why the Western society view of country or land being an asset that we can sell, that we can dig up, that we can modify, and with no respect, with no song, with no dance, is so alien to us and so problematic, because to us the land is our mother, and when we do the wrong thing by our mother, it's no different to if someone did the wrong thing by your mother.
In say in 30 to 60 seconds max, nice tight and sweet. Why is it important? Why is it in modern festivals today? Why is it important that people have welcome to country? But just a little, like a succinct little. You're talking to someone who just doesn't really get it or whatever. You know, you say this is something that's important because you want to set the energy just right, so you don't get it. So just in a
The importance of welcome to country at a festival is twofold. There are two layers. From a respect, current living perspective, it's always nice for a local traditional person to welcome people in, so everyone feels that they are united, and it's a wonderful chance to share knowledge so that we share the two different cultures and become one. But secondly, at a spiritual level, from an Aboriginal perspective, the old spirits are still here. So by welcoming people to country, we're also acknowledging the spirits of this country and saying to the old spirits, these people have paid respects and they're welcome to this country, and then the spirits are happy because they have people visiting who understand, are respectful to what we're about to do, and then we all have a happy time sharing dance and music, which has been here for 100,000 years. Done? Oh, the pressure!
I think no, that was good. Like
Irish culture, Scottish culture.
yeah.
So that's my view. The Australian culture has a bit of a cringe factor about it.
Yeah.
Even though people say it's my country, they're not quite sure what that means.
Yeah.
But if they were to embrace Aboriginal people and listen to our story, our culture is an inclusive one where we say, I'm happy to share my story, what's your story? Now we're one. And we grow and evolve together by sharing story. And so the future of Australia isn't about we need to preclude and exclude, it's about we need to include and come together. That's the sharing. I don't know if you got that, but I pretended you were just in case, because I think that's a nice